Dear viewers, welcome to the show. I'm your host Natalash, and tonight we have a very special guest all the way from Moscow, Miss Amina Zhaman. Amina Zhaman, good evening to you.
Good evening, Nart.
How are you? Long time.
I'm doing great.
Long time no see.
Yes, long time no see, but it's been almost a year since the last interview, and so many achievements, right? So
Yes.
much to talk about.
Of course. Of course, you are a frequent guest to our shows, and we are always delighted to hear your successes and whatever you're doing between the interviews. So we're delighted to know more. What did you do in this period? What were the achievements?
Which one to start with? So as I told you last time we talked, I focused on theater, and I decided to do 2 productions, and I did both. First with Alim Kuliyev. He was directing me in Till Death Do Us Part, and we did that show in Hollywood Theater at Stephanie Fury Studio Theater. And this theater is so nice. It's located opposite Paramount Pictures studio, and it was a big honor to perform there, to act opposite Alim Kuliyev. And we really wanted to work with each other for a long time. And to me, it's really symbolic that Circassian and Balkar actors perform together, and we symbolize friendship between our nations, and it's really important. And the success of the show was also a great news and great achievement, for both of us. We really wanted to do that, and we did a comedy, dark comedy, the one that Dario Fo and Franca Rame wrote, and I wrote an adaptation of Open Couple. So in my version is Till Death Do Us Part, and I actually have a flyer from Hollywood Theater. Hey! So Till Death Do Us Part with Alim on stage of Hollywood Theater. It was really funny, and I had a pleasure to perform it there.
That's great. And as you mentioned, Alim is the son also of Qaysen Kuliyev, who is an famous poet from Bulgarian, sorry.
Yes, Balkar poet in the history, and
yes,
one of my favorite poets, and it's just fantastic, how much his father achieved, and how huge his contribution to art is, and how much Alim achieved as an actor, as a director, as a stage director. And as I said, we really wanted to work with each other for 6 years, but since he lives in LA and I live in between Moscow and New York, it was kind of hard to arrange, but finally we did. And last December we worked together and we performed on stage, and it was a great weekend, 2 sold-out shows, standing ovations, and I kind of love it because first time I had standing ovations after my show Faithful Wife in Russia in 2017, and after that in Hollywood with Alim, Till Death Do Us Part, and now in Moscow. End of April, I premiered my play Shalapin Anil, and we also had ovations from audience, and it was so incredible. And to me, it's really important, and it means a lot because each viewer is important. Each viewer's opinion is important, and we fight for our audience. We want to have a bigger audience each time, and we conquer each viewer, every day. It's not like, stadium which is full because of, promo and advertisement, so you did nothing for that, the marketing and management was great, but the show wasn't, right? So that's not our case, In our case, basis of our success is our hard work, and
Yes, indeed.
truly great material. And I'm very happy that people feel it and people want to come back and see it again. And I've heard many opinions, and many people were like coming to me and saying, I want to watch Shalap and O'Neill right now again, just like twice in a row, and just so breathtaking. It's so funny, so witty, and it's so unique. I'd love to watch it again. I'm not bored. I'm not tired. I really want to stay. I'm like, no, show finished. The Museum of Music has to close the doors. Get out of here.
You need to come next time.
Next time. So, and this is a flyer of our show, Shalap and O'Neill.
Yes.
Here's Fedor Shalapin and Eugene O'Neill. I'm so happy that I made Eugene O'Neill's dream come true on Russian stage. He really wanted to collaborate with Fedor Shalapin, his favorite opera singer. And this dream didn't come true in real life, but I really wanted to help my favorite playwright, Eugene O'Neill, make his dream come true, in the afterlife, because dreams should come true. Even if later, but they should, Yes. They never come true like, earlier than you want them to come true, but the later, it's fine too, and this is a program, Shalap and O'Neill. Can you see it?
Yes, yes.
And it's unique. All my stage productions in Russia have similar programs. They are made in vintage style, and nobody has such programs. No other theater. Here's the cast and crew and my set designer, costume designer, lighting designer, Boris Lisikov, Olga Polikarpova, and Evgeny Vinogradov. And I was dreaming to work with them, and it's such an honor that they are part of my show, that they believed in my play and they respect my vision, and it was so easy to collaborate with them. It was a pleasure, just like it was a pleasure to work with Alim Kuliyev, and I hope to work with them again in the close future.
Indeed. So the play now is going to be in Moscow, and
yes,
it is going to be in July, as I understand, right?
Yes, July 12th, yeah, correct. And we had a sold-out show, and it was like a biggest success ever on stage of Museum of Music, and they asked us to perform it again, but in June, I was in New York, and I just came back to Russia, and we couldn't arrange the date because everyone is busy. I have popular actors and singer in my show. They all are very busy, and we're like, okay, the closest date we can do the show is July 12th. They're like, yes, and we're like, yes, we'll perform it again. And everyone is happy, everyone is excited, and I couldn't be more happy because this is my first show in Moscow, in the capital of Russia, and I didn't know which city I will world premiere Shalap and O'Neill in. I thought of Kazan because Kazan is the town where Shalapin was born. I also thought of Kislovodsk. He had a house there. Right now it's a museum of Shalapin. St. Petersburg was the other option.
Yes.
But Moscow was like the last on the list because it's the hardest city to, make any show in, So,
indeed, yes.
It was just supposed to happen here, and we conquered Moscow like right away. So,
beautiful, yes. Well, congratulations on that, definitely, Amina. And as I understand, this is one night show. It's not going to be another performance in Moscow, right? So it's the 12th of July.
On July 12th,
yes.
We will definitely perform it again in Moscow, but I don't know exact dates of future performances. I want to go on tour with this show and to perform every city where Fyodor Shalapin lived. And after that, in every city where Eugene O'Neill lived, that's in the United States. So it's like step-by-step tour management, you know. We arrange the tour at the moment, and like in August, hopefully we'll perform in Kislovodsk.
Beautiful. So, if you can tell me about the play itself that you'll be performing on the 12th of July, is it the genre that you adore, the comedy, or is it something else?
Comedy with elements of opera. So it's an absolute exclusive. Nobody ever made anything like this. So it's really funny. It's witty. People love it. People laugh throughout the show, and it's really rare, especially in Moscow, where audience is kind of cold and, you know, not reacting on jokes usually, but during my show they will laugh, and I was so happy that every joke I wrote, every witty or sarcastic line I created, it was just like it was just so cool to hear the reaction I expected. And that audience was very open with their emotions, you know, that people were not shy, you know. They didn't think like, oh, it's funny for me, but nobody laughs, so I will not laugh too. No, they were just open, and they opened their heart, and they really enjoyed the show.
Beautiful.
Because they have anything like this. And it's one act comedy. We perform with no intermission, and it's 1 hour and 30 minutes, the running time of the show. So it's really breathtaking, exciting, and thrilling. And I personally perform in the show. I play Eugene O'Neill's third wife, Carlotta Monterey. And when I'm behind, you know, the scenery, you know, backstage, I really want to clap and laugh because you know, the play is so funny, you know, but I can't, you know, because I'm the part of the show, you know. So I'm like, I want to be both like performer and a viewer at the same time, but that's impossible. I'm like, okay, let me laugh later, you know.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Well, you mentioned that you've been behind the stage, watching it from, I'd say, from from an inner view to the play and the performance that's happening on the stage. How does it feel? Like a person who wrote the scenario and the adaptation to the stage. What's your emotions in at that time?
I mean, the show goes so fast, you know, so I really don't have enough time to enjoy it, you know, because it's just so, I mean, maybe it's not humble to say it like that, but it's so brilliantly written by me. I really love it. I really want to listen to it, you know, but since I need to go to the stage, like, a few times, right, to play Carlotta Monterey, you know, so I should focus and be serious when, you know, I perform this role. And when I go backstage, you know, I'm like, oh my God, how my stage partner said this line. I mean, Sergei Kempo, who plays Eugene O'Neill, is just fantastic. He's my favorite actor. And I'm like, oh my God, when he says about Eugene O'Neill's dog, Blemmy, I mean, I want to laugh out loud, as everybody knows I can, you know, but I can't because people will hear it and they'll be like, is that Amina backstage? So I'm like, no, it's really cool, you know, but no time to enjoy because it's a one-act show, you know, and I made Broadway in Moscow for the first time in the history of Russian theater. And usually when people go to theater in Moscow, they expect a tragedy or drama where you think seriously about life, and after the show, you don't want to live anymore, you know? And in my theater, you know, you watch a show, you enjoy it, you want to live, you want to read, you want to listen to Shalapin's songs, you know, to his CDs after that, you know? So you want to read Eugene O'Neill's plays, you can't wait to learn more about their dogs, Bulka and Blemmy. So it gives you great emotions, and you leave the theater in a great mood, you know.
Indeed.
So it's fast, just like Broadway shows. It's very, very breathtaking and very entertaining. And I think it's really exclusive in Moscow, and that's why we're sold out. Like first show without any advertisement, and we are very close to be sold out on July 12th. You know, today they only 60 tickets left.
We wish you all the luck, Amina, definitely, and we see that it's going to happen, inshallah, soon. With your persistence and your successes, definitely.
Thanks. And actually, I'm very happy that New York media, US media, is very interested in my show, Shalap and O'Neill. And I was recently on the cover of 1212 Mag. Hey, Hip Hop Magazine. And your Hip Hop Magazine writes about your stage production.
Right.
That means a lot, right?
Indeed.
So let me show. And here is the poster of the show. I don't know if you see it.
Yes.
In English. Neil, yes. And that's me and Elmira Baba Musa in New York.
Yes, let's talk about the festival. You've been as a jury in the EFNI New York Film Festival, right?
The Festival of New York. I am a festival art director, and in May there was the 8th festival, and I'm so happy that I was there hosting opening and awards ceremonies, and also doing Q&A with all the filmmakers from around the world. And it was a big honor for me, and everything was so great. You know, I had a great time there, and I watched 58 films. I mean, like in movies per day, right? Yeah. So both feature, music videos, animation, and it's so great, you know, to see and meet talented people from Australia, from Bangladesh, you know, from UK, USA, of course, and Israel, from everywhere. And it's amazing. Like, you meet your colleagues, you exchange contacts, and maybe soon we'll collaborate with each other and make a new movie and premiere it at International Filmmaker Festival of New York, like in 2020. You never know. But the atmosphere is absolutely fantastic, and the base of that is great organization. And thanks to festival director Marika Krasniqi for doing a fantastic job. You know, everybody wants to come back to International Filmmaker Festival of New York, and I personally live like from festival to festival. You know, I'm like, oh, I can't wait for May 2020. You know, even if I'll go to New York many times before that, still, like, in my mind, I have that, you know, thought of a festival that next year is gonna be even bigger, greater, and it's gonna be even more global. And it's like, but the atmosphere is gonna be the same, amazing. And I just want to see the team of the festival again and again, and meet new people and new filmmakers, new talents. And it's so cool, you know, because if somebody wins at International Filmmaker Festival of New York, after that, they hit many other film festivals. So we kind of give a push to new names and new talents, great new films, and we kind of guess who's gonna conquer Hollywood in the future, or independent cinema in the future. But anyway, they rock right after International Filmmaker Festival of New York.
Beautiful. Just to highlight on another topic, how do you see the representation of the Circassians in the film industry and theater industry? I mean, do we have enough capacities for the Circassians from all the world, and from the world, in this business, in this field of, let's say, in the movie industry and the theater? How do you see that?
You know, we don't have a lot of Circassians in art in general, in the whole world. So I really want, for many people to be in art, for many kids, I want many kids to study music, dance, theater, and professionally, because you can't have an outstanding person out of nowhere, out of nothing, It's not like you're just a genius and that's it. No, you have to study every profession, right? So
Indeed.
we don't have enough professionals in every field of art. Unfortunately, we don't have a film industry. That's why we don't have a number. And since we don't have a number, we can't have quality, right? So there are exceptions. We don't have many filmmakers, but hopefully in the future we will have. But again, people should study filmmaking. They should study art to be professionals. It should not be something like hobby, amateur. Because if you're an amateur, money is invested in your film, in your production, in your entertainment show. It looks amateur because you don't have enough knowledge, you don't have talent, you don't have anything to say to the audience, and people feel it, So right now, it's not the best time for art in Circassian culture, but hopefully in the future, if we have a Circassian foundation that will finance movies, productions, if we have, publishers that will publish a lot of books in Circassian language, or if they will translate Circassian books to English to make it internationally known and read, right?
Yes,
and acclaimed.
widespread, definitely, yes.
It's going to change the situation, and we'll have internationally known writers. So it's really important, to have websites, magazines, newspapers. We don't even have a single newspaper in English, and this is a big problem, and it should be solved. Somebody should do that. We don't have professional journalists, so unfortunately, nobody can fix this problem on their own. It should be Ministry of Culture or film studios, big investors. It should be a teamwork, and it's going to be team success if there is a strong team of professionals.
Indeed.
But it's not impossible.
Yes, nothing is impossible, definitely. But as you mentioned, we have to have a professional approach to these, professionals that have studied and learned the mechanism and the technologies. I quite agree with you, Amina, on this. Thank you very much for the interview, and we are glad to hear all of these news that you have and all the successes that you have achieved during this period. And hopefully next time when we meet and we have this kind of interview, there will be a lot more to talk about.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor, and I can't wait to talk to you again, Nart. Hope so.
Hope so. And definitely, Amina, we will be waiting for the news of the success of your show and the theater, the upcoming on the 12th of July. Amina Zhaman, once again, thank you very much, and see you soon, inshallah.